Hello, Internet. This is part 2 of my podcast episode on clearing the noise to feel spirit again. These are a compilation of the lessons that I've learned back in 2024 that I am taking with me to 2025 that I know will help you as well. So lesson 6 is the introduction of me opening up to the idea and the reality in the near future of motherhood. For me, opening myself up to that transition means embracing a life of selflessness. Now, for so long, my focus has been on myself, and not to the point that all I want to do is for me, but essentially I'm on this personal development journey because I want to be the best mother to my kids. I want to help them grow up to be the best leaders that they can be in their own lives and be that good role model for them so that they can thrive in this environment that I provide for them, but also nurture and love them so that they can experience a new and deeper sense of freedom and unconditional love. I'm also ready and up for the challenge to humble my ego in a way that I have not experienced before. I've also heard that a mother's love for their child is incomprehensible, and I feel like that is God's love for us. You know, I don't want to get too woo-woo or spiritual or sound religious about this topic, but the love that I feel from Source, from Spirit, is I feel like the same love that I'm going to have for my future child. Maybe not to that extent, because we can't even comprehend God's love for us. It is too strong. It is too great. It is the most powerful force that I believe exists. I know it's going to feel limitless and unconditional, and I can say that with great confidence because I know how much my mom loves me. Now, I used to think that I had to check off everything on my bucket list before I became ready for motherhood because I knew that this was going to be a drastic change in my life. But I've come to realize that no one is ever ready for such a thing. I had all of these places that I wanted to go to travel to because travel is a huge part of my life. I love to discover new places and learn about the cultures and eat all the different types of food all over the world. And I felt like I would not be able to travel when I have kids. And I know that's false because I know people who travel with their kids and it's not the same as traveling solo or traveling with your partner or your friends, but it is still a possibility that I was scared to really accept. And so I have taken a lot of time into changing that narrative, that story that I tell myself that it's not going to be the same. It's not going to be as fun. And I started to really shift my awareness on the beauty of that new experience is going to give me. Yes, life will be very different, but how could I not accept the magic that this transition from maiden to mother will give me, and also use this sacred opportunity to really experience deeper levels of oneness and unconditional love that I didn't think was possible before. I know that my children will be my greatest teachers, as well as Joe, my husband, as we navigate this journey together. Loving deeply and passionately has always been a part of who I am. And while this is a beautiful thing, it also makes my heart incredibly sensitive. I am one who wears my heart on my sleeve. You will know that I love you because I will show you I love you. I will tell the whole world and express it in ways that you will feel my love for you. And reflecting on my own relationship with my parents, how they raised this rebellious teenager who resisted all the rules, I can definitely empathize their roles in my own personal journey, having to raise 5 kids and work full time and really give us the best life that they could possibly provide. I have sympathy for their struggles, and I know that's only going to grow once I actually step into that reality. And it's a perspective that I hope to carry forward, balancing freedom and morality as I guide my future children. And this journey to motherhood has really expanded my understanding with myself and my future in profound ways. Now, I commit to myself every single day this practice, this self-work continuously, because I want to be the best role model and parent for my kids. And I want to show them that living a heart-centered life, no matter the external challenges, is the greatest remedy to suffering and the path to unconditional love and freedom. Some days I question if I really have learned anything, and other days I feel like I'm moving backwards. And my ego likes to believe that healing and evolving is linear, but we know that it's not. It's like this continuous spiral of up and down because we live in a world of polarity and it's not going to be perfect all the time. But truly, it feels more like taking one step backwards and two steps forwards. But you're still moving forward. And it's not going to feel that way every single day, but also claiming your divinity and knowing the truth that you are always divinely guided has been my North Star. And as long as I stay rooted in my heart, then I will continue to move forward. I've spent so much time worrying about the future, trying to prepare for everything and every possibility, that I sometimes forget that real learning comes from actually living it. I'm learning to surrender control and really leaning into my divine team, my spirit guides, whoever it is that you call on for support. Because who is ever really ready for a big transition? Along the way, we figure it out. Just like I think back on my college days, and I don't know how I worked 2-3 jobs while being a student full time. I just made it work. And I'm sure you have experiences in your life that are similar to that, but you just made it work. I marvel at the resilience and the determination that I have and that I know is in me when I'm really working on something that I truly love and am passionate about. And I know with God on my side, I can navigate through any challenge with love and strength. So my biggest takeaway here is to embrace these transitions as opportunities for deeper growth and love because they hold so much beauty. Lesson 7 is balancing connection with isolation. This is just really fun. So recognizing when isolation serves my growth versus when it's driven by ego comes down to what's left when distractions are stripped away. True growth-focused isolation leaves me with my feelings and what is real, unclouded by external influence. Because without the constant comparison or energy drains of noises that don't serve me, I'm able to then find clarity. Now, this creates fertile soil for divine guidance to flow through and helps me realign with my truth. And to find meaningful connection without losing myself, I focus on deep listening and shifting my awareness to see others beyond the roles that they play in the world. I remind myself that every person I meet is a unique expression of the same divinity that resides in me. And this shift allows me to move beyond surface level interactions and access a deeper layer of intimacy and understanding where ego takes a backseat. Now, balancing solitude with connection often starts with self-awareness. For me, documenting my energy every single day has been such a transformative process, especially when I go through my lunar cycles, because I'll have more energy depending on the week, depending on the day. For example, during my menstrual phase, I embrace rest and introspection, giving myself permission to stay in and recharge. My follicular phase brings more energy, making it the ideal time for creativity and brainstorming. And during ovulation, I feel most productive, social, and confident, perfect for networking, collaborating, or taking on big projects. Finally, my luteal phase invites me to slow down again, hands up. If you can't find the words to describe what you're feeling during your luteal phase, girls, you know what I mean. It's like I've lost all the brain cells and I can't seem to find why it is like that. The luteal phase is also the longest, but this is a time where I'm just slowing down again. I use this time to declutter or to organize or take myself on solo dates, leaning into quieter, more mindful activities. By tuning into these natural rhythms and honoring what I need in the moment, I'm able to then create a harmonious balance between solitude and connection. And this practice has helped me stay grounded while fostering meaningful relationships with others and myself. So my biggest takeaway here is balance solitude and connection by tuning into your energy, honoring what you need in the moment. Lesson 8 is developing deeper compassion for others. Doing this, even and especially for difficult situations, starts with empathy. I've learned to put myself in other people's shoes, recognizing that I can never truly know the thoughts that they're having and the struggles that they've endured or the complexities of their relationships and their childhood. We only see the faces that people present to the world, but humility teaches us to look deeper. Understanding that the same divine essence that lives within me also lives within them helps me see others as equals. And this perspective shifts my actions, encouraging me to treat others the way that I want to be treated. Because at the end of the day, I remind myself that people are either extending out love or they're calling out for love. And this realization allows me to respond with more compassion instead of judgment. True validation does not come from others. It starts from within. It starts from us through our connection with the divine source, or however you view your version of God is. And I believe that the only force capable of truly sustaining me and satisfying me is God. There's no one else to impress because we're already whole and complete, right? And while it may take time to unravel the need for external approval and relearn our inherent divinity, this journey is between you and life, you and God, you and love itself. I think we can all agree that seeking validation outside of us externally is exhausting and ultimately unfulfilling no matter how hard we try. It's like chasing a mirage, right? It'll never truly satisfy. One of my favorite lessons from A Course in Miracles is I am sustained by the love of God. This truth reminds me to trust the divine source of love and validation, knowing that it is the only energy that will never forsake me. Bottom line is, I would rather have unconditional love rather than a million transactional relationships. And that doesn't mean that you don't get to have transactional relationships. Sure you do, because everything is in relationship, right? Everything in life. We pay for service, we get the service. We pay for food, we get the food. We pay for a movie ticket, we get to watch the movie. The more you tune into those unconditionally loving relationships, the more you could actually feel and experience the divine essence. Because they are one. They are synonymous. Life, love, God, life. So my biggest takeaway here is that compassion starts with seeing others through the lens of unconditional love. Practice humility and understanding. Lesson 9 is checking in with your inner child. Communication and inner child work, very important in this life. As much as I dislike having difficult conversations, I've come to realize that they are essential for resolving problems and fostering deeper connections. Sorry, I talk a lot with my hands. After giving myself the space that I need to neutralize my emotions, especially when I'm emotionally charged, I remind myself that avoiding these conversations can only prolong the discomfort. Prioritizing communication has taught me the power of truly listening and validating other people's experiences, not just my own. And when we approach conversations with this mindset, it often uncovers a mutual understanding that at our core, we all just want to be seen, that we all just want to be loved and understood. Our minds can sometimes play tricks on us, right? Not sometimes, all the time, creating the illusion that someone is out to get us, that we are a victim of our own lives, which can make us want to withdraw. And I've learned that this reaction often stems from my inner child feeling scared or unsafe. So to address this, I've made it a practice to reassure her, saying, I'm here, I've got you. Everything is going to be okay. I'm here, I've got you. Everything is going to be okay. And by tending to my inner child this way, with love and with patience, with grace, I'm better able to communicate from a grounded and compassionate place. Building a stronger relationship with my inner child begins with acknowledgement, right? For me, this looks like keeping a picture of my 5-year-old self on my fridge as a reminder of her presence. When that's not accessible, I simply close my eyes, place my hands on my heart, and imagine her there. Your inner child is always with you. It's a part of you that embodies innocence, joy, and unconditional love. And connecting with them is simple, right? You talk to them as you would a child of your own. You use love, you use tenderness and compassion to reassure them that they are safe, that they are loved and supported no matter what. And this practice not only nurtures the inner child, but also helps you approach relationships with greater empathy and understanding. My biggest takeaway here is that no matter what, everything starts from within. When I honor and reassure my inner child, my outer relationships flourish. Oh my gosh, okay, lesson 10, we made it. Lesson 10 is create for yourself. To me, creating for my inner child means creating with fun, with enjoyment, and purity. It's the most sacred form of authentic expression. an unapologetic declaration that this is who I am. I have let go of trying to fit into some cookie cutter box to gain approval or blend in. It is exhausting. It's not for me. Instead, I've embraced the truth that we are all uniquely different and yet sourced from the same divine energy. So external validation, by contrast, feels very hollow, right? It's fleeting and never truly fulfilling. And when I create from my inner child, it's about reconnecting to the part of me that finds joy and meaning in the process itself, not in how it's perceived by others. This shift has completely transformed my creativity and the joy that I find in my projects. I have a lot of hobbies. It's expensive to be me. Realize how much time I've wasted in trying to impress others in the past, when in reality, all I needed to do was impress little Mary. I often ask myself, what would impress her? She wouldn't care about fitting in or chasing trends. She's meant to take up loving space in the world. She is colorful. She's witty. She is funny. She can be serious, but she loves to connect. And she has a vision for life that's bold and uniquely hers. And remembering this has brought me so much freedom and joy to my creative process, because it's no longer about what others will think. It's about staying true to that childlike wonder and passion that exists from within. So for anyone struggling with the pressure to create for an audience or a specific outcome, my advice is simple. Tune that monkey mind out, because authentic, lasting creativity does not come from fear or external pressure. It flows from alignment, and divine inspiration moves in cycles, right? And when you stress yourself out with thoughts of scarcity and urgency, you cut yourself off from that alignment. I started to trust that God never runs out of ideas, because God is infinite. God is eternal. It is never ending. It is ever present. Ideas that flow through you will align perfectly with who you are meant to be in this world and what you're here to create. So let go of the need to control and simply allow the process to unfold. So my biggest takeaway here is to create from joy, not validation. Tune into what lights you up and let that guide your creativity. Yes, we made it. Thank you so much for making it all the way to the end. I know that was kind of long, but these lessons were so pivotal for me. And so I hope that it just sparks something in you as well. Remember that growth isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up continuously for yourself, giving yourself grace when you mess up, and getting back up to try again, because this journey is between you and God, you and love, you and life, and that is it. It's nobody else's business but yours. If this episode resonated for you, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my podcast and my YouTube channel so that you can watch more. Share it with somebody who needs to hear it, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram. I show a lot more of my life over there if you're curious. Follow the podcast, turn on that notification bell so that we can keep growing together. Stay grounded, stay heart-centered, and keep creating from a place of love. Until next time,